So I'm reading a book called No More Mr. Nice Guy. And one of the things that it suggests is in a journal to write down certain things from the activities that you are given to kind of facilitate the process of shedding some of these behaviors. And one of the things that I did is it listed 3 people that have different stories, but they internalized their version of their life certain ways that manifest itself in behavior that is somewhat deceptive and denying who they really are and putting on an act as though they don't want to hurt people, they want to be a people pleaser, they want to do things that make everyone happy so that their life is less rocky, and that if they're good, quote unquote, good people, that people will love them. And one of the activities that it sets forth is to write on a piece of paper or in a journal messages that you received in your family that seemed to imply that it wasn't okay for you to be who you were, just as you are. Share these experiences with a safe person. So that's what I'm going to use part of this video journal for. And some of the behaviors that are some of the messages that I received as a kid from my mom and my family were that my dad left when I was real young. I don't remember him and my mom ever being together. My mom worked quite a bit, so a lot of the times she wasn't around. We were latchkey kids. I remember having to take DART bus home from school as a young kid, and that's a fucking public transit. So I would get on the bus and put in my 80 cents or quarter or whatever it was and ride from school to home and then back in the morning. I was told all the time that I was the man of the house and that it was important for me to step up and to help her as much as I could. That meant everything from doing my own laundry to cooking, cleaning, and trying to help out with my little brother. He wasn't much younger than me, but he still was younger than me. So I remember that when I didn't do these things right, my mom would get very angry at me, and she would get in my face and become really aggressive. I remember her biting her lip and almost spitting because she was so pissed off, and that was very frightening to me. So I tried to do the best that I could and tried not to disappoint her as much as I could so that I didn't receive that kind of treatment. It happened quite a bit because I was a kid and I didn't do things right all the time. So I remember working very hard to not upset anyone. I became very quiet and withdrawn. I didn't talk about my emotions or that I was upset or hurt about anything. I kept it within myself and became an introvert because I felt as though I was highly sensitive, and that when I talked about how I really felt, it would anger or upset my mom because I needed to be strong for her because she didn't have anyone. She didn't have a spouse or partner that she could turn to and lean on, so she did that to me. That's just one of the activities that has popped up in this book, and I'm going to continue to make the videos that are just for me and have nothing to do with this book and are about things that I feel the need to talk about. But at the same time, I'm going to use this as a journal to try and work through some of these activities. What I'm coming to find out about some of the behavior that I've been doing, I guess, I don't know how to word it, but some of the things that I've been doing in my life are so as not to rock the boat, to do things right, quote unquote right, and to hide parts of my character and my personality that I felt nobody cared for. I always felt like I was overly sensitive, I was shy, it was difficult for me to talk to people, and I believe that the reason why that was because it was very important for me not to disappoint other people. And the best course to do that is to just not open up to them, because the less they know about you, the less they can use against you. So one of the things I would do is just be extremely introverted and not open up to people. So I remember my name is Pete, but my actual name, my Christian name, however you want to say it, is Peter. And I remember being made so much fun of just for having that name. And I remember so many instances where I would just run away crying because somebody made fun of my name. And I know that that's not being physically abused or being hurt in a really severe way, because other people have way more thrown at them than that. But the context of me, it was damaging, it was very hurtful, and I hid. That's why I don't, even today, that's why I go by Pete. I don't, my mom is one of the only people that refers to me as Peter, or family that has been around since I was a kid. As soon as I got old enough to direct how people viewed me, I changed the way, or basically I changed the name. And I feel like Peter, in some weird way, is a different person. I feel like Peter is the sensitive kid that opens up and communicates to people, and then Pete is the very tough, strong person that doesn't really show much emotion. Obviously that's not the case if you watched any of these videos. I've been emoting quite a bit lately, but as of right now, I'm starting to see and put into perspective some of these behaviors that I've shown in the past few years, more so now because I don't drink, and I'm trying to focus on my personality and my character more. So I'm analyzing these things quite a bit more, and I hope my goal in this is that through the course of this journey, I see and I realize that it's okay to be me, that it's okay that I'm more sensitive than other people. It really is. It's okay that I do things that tend to be more feminine, like gardening and cooking. That shit is difficult for a tough guy. When other guys can build walls and fix shit and work on cars, I didn't have a dad around to help me with any of that, so I learned things like cooking and cleaning and gardening from my mom. And I took those things